Willow, who was Will Smith's kid, she was younger, she was whipping her hair back and forth. But now she's older, and she's angstier, and she's doing her own thing. So
will Mad Mardigan make an appearance?
Mad Mardigan! Mad Mardigan! Right. Cavaliers lose last night here at home, 110-106, against the Memphis Grizzlies. No shame in that. Good team. They're off until Friday night, and then they'll be on the West Coast. So that's a late game. 10 o'clock is the tip-off against the Trailblazers in Portland. PDX v CLE. And you'll hear all of it here on WMMS, your FM home for Cleveland Cavaliers basketball. Make sure that we're starting to put some things in motion for what we hope will be. We're hoping against all evidence. Starting to put some things in motion for what we hope will be the Guardians' inaugural opening day. As of yesterday, there's been no movement whatsoever in this MLB lockout. And again, every time Cleveland tries to stand on its own 2 feet, it gets kicked in the nuts. And so if something were to delay the Guardians' inaugural season, that would suck. But just a plan for the best, starting to put some things in motion there that hopefully we'll be able to tell you about very soon. Some people are theorizing that the Washington football team inadvertently gave away their new name.
Oh, really?
They've made a big deal. If you saw it on social media, they put out a little clip of video, a little trailer, that the Washington football team is going to announce their new name on February the 2nd. But some people are saying that they might have given the name away by accident because of a website that it was attached to, WashingtonAdmirals.com.
Yeah, that sounds like they gave it away.
So it seems like, they're going to be the Washington Admirals, which, if that's the case, it's going to be a little anticlimactic. But who knows? I guess you could do a lot worse. It's better than Washington football team, or is it? I have no skin in that game, if you pardon the pun, but I think it would be great if they just kept calling it the Washington football team. I don't have a problem with that at all. To me, the Washington football team are the Seattle Seahawks. But whatever you want to do in D.C., go ahead and do it. But the WFT, I don't have a problem with that. You ever meet anybody who's a Washington Redskins fan?
My
you ever
roommate
meet
in college.
Really? Because she was from D.C.?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Virginia, whatever that area is.
Yeah.
The other half of Movie Squad is a Washington football fan.
Okay.
He's from the Maryland area.
It's 2 people a squad?
Obviously, I know that they exist. It's just anecdotally. I've never met somebody who's like, oh, my God, Washington Redskins are my team.
We are the 2 founding members of the squad. There's other people that come and go in the squad.
Oh.
Like Ben.
You guys are the constants, and then you have kind of a revolving door?
Yes.
Is there any kind of, is it like a blood in, blood out type situation? Is there any kind of, what do they call that? When
Initiation?
Initiation. Yeah. I can only conjure up inauguration, I wouldn't, right? Mm-hmm. And D.C. on the brain. Is there any kind of initiation rites?
Yeah, we jump you in.
You do? Okay, so it is.
It's double
blood
Dutch.
in, blood out.
No,
okay.
Not fighting. Double Dutch.
Double Dutch.
Jump
All
rope
right.
in.
Do you have to sing the McDonald's song while you're doing it?
No.
All right.
Am I right?
No.
By the way, a little closer to home when it comes to troublesome names, whatever. Parma High School is the Red Men. Got a big old mascots, an Indian guy, Native American with big old headdress. And they are going to keep that mascot. They've been talking about it for a year and a half, and it comes down to the fact that the students didn't want the name to change. And usually that's where you get a lot of the pushback is from the students, younger generations like, hey, we're not down with this, blah, blah, blah. That's what starts, especially at the high school level, that's what will start those conversations. Because the old folks, they don't care. People running the school, it couldn't care less. So if there's a big enough outcry from the student body, those things will change. They met with 3 different groups of students from Parma High School, and the clear consensus was that the students had no interest in changing the mascot. There was a lot of pride and a sense of tradition behind the mascot. And this is why it's somewhat misleading when you make fun of people who don't want to change things because they're old. Because there are a lot of young people that don't want to change things either, because that's all they know. You know, tomorrow is going to be the 1-year anniversary of Trader Palooza at the Capitol. And a huge, huge contingent of those people were young people. You know, they weren't all like 60-year-old dudes. The thing that freaks people out is there's a huge contingent of like people under 30 who are totally down with, you know, fascism. Because they don't really know how things work. So they go, that sounds good to me. So if you are a Parma High School student, if you are an alumnus, if you're someone who feels strongly about keeping the Red Men as the mascot, you're in luck. They go, look, we did what you're supposed to do. We sat down. We talked to the students. I don't know if they talked to any local Native American organizations, but, you know. There are 79 schools in the state of Ohio that use Native American nicknames or mascots. The Parma High Redmen are just one of them. But they said they got input from more than 2,100 people overall, and that overwhelmingly the students had no interest in changing the name.
Well, this is what we were kind of talking about yesterday, where I was saying how at that age, it's probably a lot of kids just parroting whatever their parents say, that they hear them complaining about the Indians mascot change. And it's the kids, I feel like that's young to have your own opinions on it. I don't know how to say this without sounding stupid. Like, I feel like even in your teenage years, yes, some kids do develop their own opinions, but it's very largely influenced by your family and your group of friends.
There's a certain degree to which it's hard to deprogram from what your parents... Right.
Especially if you're still living in that house, listening to it all the time. My house, my rules. You know what I mean? Like,
but also, what happened to... And I'm not advocating for one way or the other. Even the people that were looking at this were surprised that the students didn't push back. They were like, we figured this was a fait accompli once we started talking to students, so they were surprised. But what happened to rebellion, man?
I don't
ever remember, when I was younger, I don't ever remember anybody going, yeah, you know, I just kind of am down with what my parents are doing.
No. Rebellion is about like smoking cigarettes and
about
cutting
everything.
Your hair. I don't think that it is.
It's about rebellion for rebellion's sake. You don't even know what you're talking about, but if your parents are into it, you want nothing to do with it.
No, okay, if they're into it, music choices, clothing, hairstyles, makeup, those are the things that you rebel about. I think when it comes to even something as simple as sports teams that you like, or political affiliation or religion, those are things that you're just told and kind of go with the flow with.
I think there's people on both sides of that, where as I got more experience in life, and I wasn't parroting what my parents were saying as much, because it's like, oh yeah, people are making a lot of good points.
But not at age 16.
No, around 16, 17, 18. Like, that's when I started having that. Now, I was still going along with what they believe, because I didn't know how to express it to them, but I had a lot of doubts about what they were teaching me and what they were telling me around those ages. Also,
I realized that sports, which is what this is a story about, sports is very much a religion for people.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, when they were talking to the students, they were like, these students were talking about their fathers and their grandfathers who had gone.
Redmond. Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I understand, because sports seems to be the main place where people love to play the tradition card.
Yeah.
Nobody really cares about tradition in other areas of life. Right? They're like, well, my grandfather used to do that. We don't do that anymore because that's silly. Sports, though, wow. People are really, really...
Sports and holidays.
Into that. But even holidays. Like, once you get to the point where you're like, we're going to start our own traditions. And some people can't do that soon enough, boy.
That's where I'm at. I'm like, I'm going to start traveling on Christmas. Screw this.
Yes.
I'm like, I'm going to Florida. I'm going somewhere where there's a beach.
When we went to Paris and we ended up getting engaged.
Just so much less stress.
We told everybody we're blowing off Christmas this year. It's 2012. We're blowing off Christmas and we're going to Europe.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
I told my boyfriend that
I
this
can't wait
year.
to do it again.
Yeah, I said that. I was like, dude, let's just start traveling for the holidays. I'm tired of having to coordinate and do this and do that. Let's just go somewhere. Screw it. We'll see our family when we get back. It's like, that doesn't seem very nice. I'm like,
Or
like,
no, I'm all for that because it's
You
also,
pick Thanksgiving or Christmas.
Yeah.
pick
I mean,
one.
you guys are all local. I got to haul ass to Chicago to see the rest of my
Mm-hmm.
family. That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So we go, every year we go, is it going to be Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Right.
Last few years it's been Thanksgiving. The last couple of years it's been nothing. But, traditionally Thanksgiving. Just food involved.
Well, yeah, you're right. I heard a lady in the store the other day, again, while we were over break, just like a drug mart or CVS.
Because you were chatting her up already.
No, I was not chatting her up. I was behind her in line, and she walked up, and the cashier said, "Merry Christmas." And she was like, "Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I never know what I can say anymore. I don't want to offend people," because she said Merry Christmas instead of like Happy Holidays, is what I'm assuming.
If you have that opinion, you
would
want
love
to.
to.
Yes,
That's
of
exactly
course.
what I wanted.
You would love to say Merry Christmas and go, actually, Happy Holidays. Like, I say Merry Christmas because
Right.
it's the war on Christmas.
And no one cares about if you say Merry Christmas or,
Or
not.
Happy Holidays,
no one
right.
cares. That's right.
But I
Say
think-
whatever you like.
Those type of people love tradition. The people who get all up in arms about
No,
holiday
they love.
greetings and
They love being upset about something that's not actually happening. So
Well-
it's not even that they love Christmas so much or anything like that. They love getting fired up and being like, oh, well, the things were, and they romanticize a time that never existed.
They
Yeah.
feel like they're losing something when they're really not.
Yeah.
Just because another group of people are doing something doesn't mean you are losing. It's not a zero-sum game, right?
Right.
You can still say, you might have noticed a lot of greeting cards say Merry Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's okay.
And
Merry
I
Christmas
can't think of a time where someone said Merry Christmas and someone was like, whoa.
Yeah.
they usually
Like-
would just say back their own, like if they're Jewish, like, all right, Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
Happy
Like,
holiday. But even that they don't say back. Like they'll
Right.
go, oh, Merry Christmas. Like they
sure.
because it's not that serious to anything. It's something that and I don't mind the happy holidays either because that's all encompassing when you're talking about
Right.
Christmas and New Year and all these different things that are going on. But I've never been upset if someone said Happy Holidays
Right.
or Merry Christmas. I don't like a Happy Christmas. You can take that and shove it up.
I like
your butt.
Happy Christmas.
That's British. They say Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, John. Happy Christmas, Yoko. Before we got locked down with the Kron, right after we went on break, we went through the Magic of Lights. Is that what it's called? The Magic
Yeah.
of
I didn't
Lights.
do that this year.
We gave
At
away
the
Cuyahoga County Fairgrounds.
In Burrioha.
Burrioha. Yeah, so we went through that, and it's fantastic every year. It's awesome, right? But they have a little nod to, there's a menorah, and they have a little Kwanzaa creche or whatever. And I always think there's got to be somebody going grumbling about a Kwanzaa
right, yeah.
display.
Right.
You know? For try finding a person who celebrates Kwanzaa. I mean, Poundcake doesn't even know somebody who celebrates Kwanzaa. But there are people
Yeah.
who do, so I give them credit for at least nodding. You want to talk about tradition? That is a tradition.
The woman who used to braid my mother's hair, she used to celebrate Kwanzaa.
There you go.
Because I mistakenly said, I walked in while my mom was getting her hair braided, and I was like, oh, that's a nice menorah. And I don't think the Kwanzaa is called a menorah, and she corrected me. I'm like, I don't remember what the name was. I was like, oh. She's like, no, it's Kwanzaa. I'm like, so it's not a menorah? It's still whole
But you knew she
candles.
wasn't Jewish, though.
But I thought it was just I thought it was a menorah, just a different type of menorah.
Well, it is. It's a Kinara. It's the Kwanzaa candles are, yeah. But it does, doesn't matter.
Goes and blows them out and
It's
says
like
Happy birthday.
yarmulke and a kippah.
Was she wearing a dashiki when she, like a Christmas
Actually,
festive?
she looked like Miss Cleo. She absolutely did.
Yeah. Hey, Danny.
Yes, how you doing?
What's up, Danny?
Nothing. I'm a 92 grad of Parma Senior.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
The outgoing principal when I was in 10th grade did not like the Redmond mascot. She wanted to turn it into, if you're familiar with Parma High, there's a big clock tower in the front. She wanted us to become called the Parma Towers.
Towers.
And that went over like a lead balloon. It obviously
Yeah.
never happened, but
Huh. Yeah. All right. The Parma. There's a clock tower. We're going to call ourselves the Parma Charles Whitmans.
I think there should be.
Anyone?
Clocks.
Exactly.
I think they should be the Parma Shoppies.
It was an embarrassment more than anything.
Right. The Shoppies at Parma High. Right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Danny.
Thank you.
By the way, I neglected to mention this when first we returned, but a lot of people have been hitting me up. What did Nora end up getting you and Gwen?
Yes, I forgot about this.
It was like 50
I forgot
cents
all
or
about
something.
it, right? So I mentioned this before we left for break because we couldn't wait to figure out what she got us. They did one of those Christmas markets for the kids, and it wasn't at her school; it was at another place, and so we took her to it shortly after Thanksgiving. And they have older kids that walk the little kids around and go, hey, here's something mom or dad might like, whatever. And so she went with one of her friends, and they gave them a sheet listing who they were going to buy for. And best as we could figure out, because her friend had so many people to buy for, and we just gave her me, Gwen, and our dog, that she thought that she didn't have to spend much, whatever. I gave her $25 in an envelope that goes with her when she goes. And I told her, it's 10 for mom, 10 for me, 5 for June, for the dog. So you can't go over that. So about 90 minutes later, she comes out, got a little bag, couple of gifts in it. They wrap them for him, so we don't know what it's going to be, right? It's not like if we peeked into the bag, we'd see. They're wrapped. And I look in the envelope as we get back in the car, and there's about $23.75. So we are now, sure, we would have been naturally curious as to what she thought we would like for Christmas. Now we're really curious because she only spent on me, Gwen, and the dog, only spent about $1.75 or whatever. So I don't even know if she got the dog anything. I don't know what it was. Gwen got a little woven keychain that also holds your chapstick in it.
Cute.
And I got a foam mouse pad that you're supposed to color that says "World's Best Dad."
Aww.
That's what I got. So she probably saw that, and whoever was walking her around was like, "That has the word Dad on it. I'll get it for right."
Yeah.
You don't expect a kindergartner to be like, "Gee, what would Dad really enjoy from this?"
He's really into surfing.
Yeah, right. Surfing. So that's what we got. Gwen.
What did June get?
Yeah.
Gwen got
What did the dog get?
I don't know if she got anything. She might not have seen it. She probably got like a little chew
Bone or
thing.
something,
Yeah, something. I think she might have, now that I think about it, I think she got one of those like woven squeaky toys where they immediately chew the plastic bulb out and then you find shreds of it around your house.
That's my dog's favorite, is getting the squeaky toy out of the toy.
Yeah.
Because she feels like she's killed something.
See, that doesn't not what my cat does. She all of her toys have drugs in them. Everything's got catnip in it, so she plays with it and then goes absolutely berserk for about a half hour, and then falls
passes
asleep.
out,
Yeah.
They come with catnip in them?
You can
or is it
buy
a little pocket that you put catnip?
No, you can buy toys without catnip, but she wants nothing to do with them. The catnip gets her to play with the toys, and then she's like all drugged out. And freaking
Catnip's
out.
like weed for cats?
It's like speed for cats.
Speed
it
for
makes them
cats.
go like they can't focus on
Really?
anything. Yeah. The other thing it'll do though, you can buy sprayable catnip to put on, like if you buy them a new bed and it doesn't have their scent yet, you'll spray the catnip on there or on scratching posts to get them to go over to it just to discover it because they're attracted to the smell.
Oh, that's the easiest way to lure a cat somewhere.
Yes, just put the spray catnip. I got her a new bed and she wanted nothing to do with it. Spray the catnip in it. She's laying all over it. And then they're like, oh, this is comfortable. I'll come back here,
I see.
But yeah, she doesn't destroy toys. She just gets all drugged out and then needs a nap.
Yeah, so the keychain with the lip balm in it, and I got the
Mouse pad.
mouse pad.
Did you call it the mouse pad?
Which is going to be perfect in the new office I won't have downtown. So, yeah.
You're going to have to set up an at-home studio for all of your items.
Yeah, I already have an at-home studio that doesn't get used.
Well, you need a display
Like an
case.
office, like.
Yeah, you need like a display. Let's get you a curio cabinet.
We already have a curio cabinet. It's got a bunch of milk glass in it.
I called it a Cheerio cabinet.
Cheerio cabinet. While I'm heating up my corn dogs, this is where I keep all my cereal that I'm going to eat my dessert cereal back here. Alan, quick, look outside. It's sunny.
It is not.
At least in Medina.
There's a patch of sun over there.
There's some blue up there.
At this point, I'll take blue.
We got some blue.
It's not just gray.
Yeah, not just. Parmejans. I don't get that. They should be the Parmejans. They could have a wheel of cheese as a mascot. What does that mean?
Parmesans.
Parmesan.
The JWNS is what they Parmejans. Now I get it, right? That kind of crap never would have happened on Dean DePiero's watch, god damn it.
Yeah.
He knew what was going on over there when he was running that town. I do love in everything written about Parma, though, I do love how they constantly like to crow about how they're the 8th largest city in the state of Ohio. I do love that.
Pierogi capital of the world.
In everything written about Parma, it has to be included in there. Well, it is the 8th largest city. I'm like, I can only think of like 3 other cities. How is it the 8th?
In Ohio?
Cleveland, Columbus, Dayton,
Cincinnati,
Toledo, Cincinnati.
Youngstown.
That's 5.
Youngstown?
Youngstown's big. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Youngstown, 6. What's number 7?
Lakewood?
Bigger than Parma? No, Parma's big.
Oh, are we talking
But Lakewood's
square
dense.
footage or
Population.
I think, but Lakewood is very densely populated. It's one of the most densely populated cities.
But
in
I bet
America.
it's not. I bet it doesn't have a higher population than Parma.
Well,
It's small, but there's so many people.
Yeah,
that
that's
live in
true.
Lakewood.
Well, maybe it is Lakewood. Okay, so because I do forget about Youngstown. Sorry, Y-Town. I do forget about Dayton, Toledo.
maybe Warren. I don't know.
Well, who knows?
Akron, Canton,
Akron, Canton.
Ah,
there
there
you
we
go.
We found 'em.
Crackrin, Cranton.
Crackern, Cranton, and then Parma.
Right.
Don't call it Crackrin. People from Akron will get mad.
No, they're the ones who told me that that's what it's called.
No, when I say it, they get all pissed off. They send text.
Because they just don't like you.
Well, at least I know. I mean,
All right, you want the list?
Yeah, I think we got it, but
I think
yeah.
we got so number 9 is, well, according to this list, Parma's much higher. Parma's 7, and then Dayton, Akron, Toledo, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Columbus.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Sorry, Akron. You're right there, and I forgot you. Okay, I got a break. You want to get a text for anything, 35192. Listen wherever you are on the iHeartRadio app.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7.